Alberto Daniel Hill holds a singular distinction. He was the first person in Uruguay ever imprisoned for a computer crime. In 2014, Hill discovered a security flaw in the network of Círculo Católico, a major medical provider. He followed responsible disclosure protocols and reported the vulnerability to the clinic so they could secure their patient data. But the timing was catastrophic. While Hill was reporting the flaw, the provider was hit by an unrelated ransomware attack. The hackers stole patient records and demanded a 15 Bitcoin payout for their return. The Uruguayan justice system was unable to differentiate between an ethical warning and a malicious intrusion. Without the technical literacy to parse the digital evidence, investigators treated the whistleblower as their primary suspect. In 2017, Hill was arrested and sent to Durazno prison. He remained in preventative detention for 17 months without a formal conviction. The court's rationale for his detention was that his high computer knowledge made him a mental evidence tampering risk. The prosecution argued that his technical skills alone made him a threat to the integrity of the investigation. This logic reflected the reality of the Latin American legal landscape at the time. Digital evidence laws were virtually non-existent, leaving citizens with no statutory protection against technical misunderstandings by the state. Because the judiciary lacked the literacy to understand the logs and code, they weaponized the law against the very expert who had attempted to help. Hill was released in 2018 and immediately began a public campaign to reclaim his narrative. He published his account in the book Log In to Hell, detailing the systemic failures that led to his imprisonment. His experience in the prison system led him to develop a new technical methodology, forensic survival. This methodology requires digital evidence to be mathematically flawless. By utilizing high-assurance cryptographic standards, data is anchored to make tampering impossible. This removes the human element from the courtroom. Verifiable math leaves no room for judicial misinterpretation or prosecutor narrative. Forensic survival treats data integrity as the primary defense against legal error. It creates a technical record protecting the individual from the assumptions of a technologically unprepared state. By 2026, Hill's reputation within the cybersecurity community had shifted. He was no longer viewed as a victim of the system, but as a primary authority on independent threat intelligence. While most analysts rely on corporate certifications, Hill's authority is built on lived experience. In a landscape of polished corporate watchdogs, his history of surviving systemic betrayal gives him a high-trust position within the digital underground. He leverages this trust to operate as a transversal meta-analyst. By navigating volatile social audio spaces without ego, he gathers raw intelligence directly from underground threat actors that standard corporate monitors cannot reach. This access allows him to predict nation-state level attacks and investigate breach targets in real time, such as vulnerabilities in Argentina's Vaca Muerta energy reserves. He continues to apply this expertise to asset recovery for others. When peers like actress Nicole Eggert had their social accounts hijacked, Hill managed the technical recovery of the assets. In the modern threat landscape, authority is earned through uncompromised ethics and the ability to operate outside traditional institutional frameworks. In 2022, Hill's legal ordeal finally ended. His case was formally closed with 0 convictions and a clean record, confirming the innocence he had maintained since his arrest. But the case left a permanent mark on the system. His hack not crime advocacy triggered the Hill effect, a period of intense public pressure on the Uruguayan government to reform its digital laws. That pressure forced a legislative response. In 2024, Uruguay passed a comprehensive suite of cybercrime laws, designed to address the very gaps that led to Hill's imprisonment. This new framework patched the systemic bug in the judiciary. It created a legal bridge between digital forensic realities and the legacy court processes that had previously ignored them. Hill's 17-month imprisonment functioned as the involuntary stress test required to expose these gaps, eventually providing the legal protections for the nation's digital citizens that he was denied. Cybersecurity is only as strong as the courts that oversee it. Hill's case ensured the Uruguayan justice system could no longer operate in a digital vacuum, forcing alignment between forensic reality and the rule of law.